This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas.
And I'm Erika Kristensen-Lee. Tonight on the Scorecard.
Eala stuns Madison Keys to become the first Filipina to beat a top 10 player. Lewis Hamilton disqualified from Chinese Grand Prix after skid block breach. Ferrari suffers double disqualification. In the UAAP, Petalyo Bacante takes charge as FEU scores hard-earned win versus UST. Thompson-Brownlee Magic powers Ginebra to Game 5 win, one step away from PBA Commissioner's Cup title. The Scorecard wins Best Sports Show in the 38th PMPC Star Awards for television. In the NBA, rookie Ron Holland scores career-high 26 points as the Pistons edge out the Pelicans 136-130. While the Cavs snap 4-game skid with a dominant win over the Jazz. And get to know another esports rising star, James Pangks. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 24th of March. Now here's our roundup.
Filipina tennis ace Alexandra Eala pulled off a stunning upset against 5th seed Madison Keys at the Miami Open, securing a historic 6-4, 6-2 victory. The 19-year-old wildcard made history as the first ever Filipina to defeat a top 10 opponent since the WTA rankings began back in 1975, celebrating the milestone with an emotional embrace with her team. With precision and confidence, Eala dominated the course against Keys, displaying fierce ground strokes and smart shot selection. Her powerful backhand and aggressive returns left the former U.S. Open finalist struggling to find her rhythm. In the first set, Eala broke Keys' serve early to establish control, taking advantage of her opponent's erratic serve and minimizing unforced errors. The second set saw Eala maintain her momentum, capitalizing on her court coverage and quick reflexes. Eala dedicated the win to her family, her coaches, and Filipino supporters worldwide, expressing hope that her success will inspire the next generation of Filipino athletes.
So blank. I'm thinking of my parents who are watching now. Mom, Dad, nakuha ko! Oh my God!
Eala's journey began when she started training at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca. At just 13 years old, she quickly made waves in junior tennis, winning the 2020 Australian Open Girls Doubles title and the 2021 French Open Girls Doubles crown. Her biggest break came in 2022 when she won the U.S. Open Girls Singles title, establishing herself as a future star in women's tennis. Of course, in addition to her Grand Slam success, Eala has secured several notable titles, including Junior World number 2 ranking achieved during her junior career, 2020 Australian Open Girls Doubles champion with Prisca Madeline Negrujo, her first Grand Slam doubles title, 2021 French Open Girls Doubles champion together with Oksana Selekmetava, her second Grand Slam doubles title, 2022 U.S. Open Girls Singles champion, her first ever junior Grand Slam singles title. Next up, she will be facing Spain's Paula Badosa for a shot at the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Keys, who recently struggled in the Indian Wells semifinals, admitted she wasn't exactly in her best form, giving credit to Eala for her composure and relentless play. Eala also received congratulatory messages from the likes of tennis star Rafael Nadal, EJ Obiena, Tim Cohn, and former commissioner Noli Eala. What does this victory mean to us? Eala continues her rise in the WTA rankings, making her mark as one of the most promising young talents in women's tennis.
Now, in Formula One, Lewis Hamilton has been disqualified from the Chinese Grand Prix after the rear skid block on his Ferrari was found to be under the minimum thickness required in the technical regulations, meaning both Ferrari drivers have lost their results, as Charles Leclerc was also disqualified for a car weight breach. After his sprint victory on Saturday, Hamilton faced a tougher challenge at the Shanghai International Circuit, making contact with Leclerc on lap 1 and struggling to keep pace. He initially finished P6, but a technical delegate's report revealed that his rear skid block measured below the minimum 9mm thickness. Following the race, Hamilton and a team representative were summoned to the stewards, who confirmed the breach and applied the standard penalty of disqualification. Ferrari also suffered a second blow as Charles Leclerc was disqualified for having a car that was 1 kilogram below the minimum weight requirement. Leclerc, who initially finished P5, faced the same fate as his teammate after a post-race weigh-in confirmed the breach. Alpine's Pierre Gasly also faced disqualification for a similar weight breach, leaving his team yet to score a point in the 2025 season. With the disqualifications, Esteban Ocon, Kimi Antonelli, Alex Albon, and Ollie Bierman all moved up by 2 positions, while Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz also claimed points by entering the top 10.
Far Eastern University snagged a hard-earned win over University of Santo Tomas to kick off its UAAP Season 87 women's volleyball second-round campaign. The Lady Tamaraw staged a 4th set comeback to clinch a 25-22, 26-24, 17-25, and 26-24 victory over the Golden Tigresses at the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. Faida Bacanque was on fire with 22 points from 18 attacks, 2 blocks, and 2 aces, plus 5 digs. Jers Petalio also shined in the crucial 4th set, dropping 5 of her 12 points to help erase a 6-point deficit, trailing 16-10 in the 4th. Petalio rallied her teammates with a 4-point blitz to slash the deficit to 2 midway through the frame. As the Lady Tams crept closer, they narrowed the gap to just 1, 24-23. Enter Sheni Tagaod, who delivered a perfect off-speed attack to tie the game. Then Mitzi Paningin served an ace, and Jean Assist sealed the deal with a massive block. Both teams now stand at 5-3 in the team standings, with UST swallowing its second straight loss after falling to National University in the Round 1 finale.
Scotty Thompson and Justin Brownlee delivered when it mattered most, leading Barangay Ginebra to a hard-fought 73-66 victory over TNT in Game 5 of the PBA's Season 49 Commissioner's Cup Finals at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. With the win, the Gin Kings are now 1 win away from clinching the championship, taking a 3-2 series lead. Brownlee, who struggled in the first half with just 2 points, flipped the script after the break. The veteran import finished with 18 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Thompson, the ever-reliable captain, contributed 16 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. The dynamic duo was responsible for Ginebra's last 12 points, sealing the deal for their team. TNT had the upper hand early on, building a 45-35 lead at halftime. But Brownlee found his rhythm, capping off the third quarter with a buzzer-beating floater to give Ginebra a 57-56 edge. In the closing minutes, TNT's Kim Aurin sank a clutch basket to narrow the gap, but it wasn't enough to hold back the Gin Kings. Thompson, despite nursing a hand injury from Game 3, nailed back-to-back floaters to extend Ginebra's lead and lock in the win. Now just 1 win away from the title, Ginebra will look to carry this momentum into Game 6. TNT, meanwhile, faces a must-win situation to force a decisive Game 7.
Bilyonaryo's The Scorecard made a slam dunk at the 38th Philippine Movie Press Club Star Awards for television held at the Dolphy Theater, taking home the coveted Best Sports Show Award and Best Sports Show Host for our very own Anton Roxas. The PMPC celebrates and recognizes outstanding achievements in television, and the whole Scorecard team was present to receive this award.
Thank you sa lahat ng mga EP, directors, all my fellow talents, lahat ng mga athletes and coaches that I've covered and have become friends with. Big shout out to our bosses sa BNC, Mr. Hill Kabakungan, Mr. Ray Morfil, and Sheriff Avila. Maraming salamat.
course, our gratitude as well goes to all the members of the Bilyonaryo News Channel family working hard behind the scenes to enable the Scorecard to continue delivering the latest sports news and expert opinions. And we stay committed to our athletes who continue to give pride and inspiration to our country. Cheers to the entire team for this well-deserved victory.
PNC, always on top!
Yay, congratulations once again. Now moving on to the NBA, Detroit's rookie sensation Ron Holland delivered a standout performance, scoring a career-high 26 points to lead the Pistons to a 136-130 victory over the New Orleans Pelicans. Holland didn't stop there, though, adding 6 assists and 5 rebounds to his impressive stat line. Jalen Duren dominated with 22 points and 12 boards, while Marcus Sasser tipped in 20 points. Dennis Schroeder also made his presence felt with 16 points and 5 assists. The Pistons jumped to a 36-27 lead at the end of the first quarter, powered by, of course, a strong team effort with 8 of 9 players contributing to the scoreboard. The Pelicans fought back in the third quarter, even taking a brief lead before Holland ignited an 8-0 run to put Detroit back in front. Now, despite missing all-star Cade Cunningham due to a calf injury, the Pistons showed their depth and determination. On the flip side, though, CJ McCollum kept the Pelicans in the fight with a massive 40-point performance, supported by Jordan Hawkins' 25 points. Now, this win marks Detroit's second victory over the Pelicans in less than a week after a dominant 127-81 win in New Orleans last Monday.
Meanwhile, the Eastern Conference leaders Cleveland Cavaliers ended their 4-game losing streak in style, defeating the Utah Jazz 120-91. Jarrett Allen led the charge with 18 points, while Donovan Mitchell added 16. 6 Cavaliers scored in double figures as Cleveland showcased a balanced attack. Evan Mobley contributed a double-double with 11 points and 11 rebounds. Cleveland, now at 57-14, holds the second-best record in the league behind Western Conference leaders Oklahoma City and maintains a solid 5-game lead atop the East. The game turned in Cleveland's favor with a crucial 15-0 run to open the second half, building a commanding lead the Jazz could not overcome with the skid behind them. The Cavaliers look to keep the momentum going as they continue their push towards the playoffs. Now here are the other results from around the NBA.
And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What is one of the most dazzling and unexpected moves in tennis that leaves fans in awe and opponents stunned? Well, it's the iconic tweener, a spectacular trick shot where a player hits the ball between their legs, usually while chasing down a lob or defending a deep shot, often performed with precision and flair. The tweener is a high-risk, though, high-reward move that showcases a player's quick thinking and athleticism. So the next time you watch a tennis match, keep an eye out for this jaw-dropping shot that turns defense into an unforgettable moment. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. The buzz is TNT head coach Chot Reyes appears to have seen enough clashing with center Poy Eram during Tropang Giga's tough Game 5 loss to Barangay Ginebra in the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals. The tension boiled over in the third quarter with 7 minutes and 28 seconds remaining. Aram threw his towel on the floor in frustration and Reyes did not hold back. The two engaged in a heated exchange before Coach Chot eventually walked away.
That's just, I just got fed up with all the antics. So, I let him have a piece of my mind. Sabi niya, kung hindi ko siya mapagsabihan, hindi siya mang-coach ko.
Thankfully, import Ronde Hollis Jefferson stepped in to defuse the situation, but the damage was sadly done. It was TNT's lowest scoring performance of the season, even falling short of their 70-point Game 2 struggle. But still, the season's not over yet. TNT will need to rebound in Game 6 on Wednesday at the Araneta Coliseum if they want to force a deciding Game 7.
Now, also making a buzz is a little bit of old school versus new school drama brewing in the PBA world. Former Barangay Ginebra star and a guy I'd argue is in the top 4 all-time in the league. Kirby Raimundo just took to Instagram with some serious heat. And the target? It's TNT's Poy Eram. Raimundo, a 2-time champion and an absolute workhorse back in his day, basically called out Eram for, how do I put this, acting like a superstar instead of being one. The Instagram story, brutal. He says watching Eram play is sakit sa mata, literally painful to watch, and tagged fellow TNT legend Ranidel De Ocampo, asking him to set this young guy straight. Now, let's zoom out. Eram's been a solid defensive anchor for TNT, but he's got a reputation for getting under opponent's skin. Raimundo, known for being a quiet assassin, just went about his business, dominated the post, and didn't need to sell calls to be effective. So from his perspective, yeah, he's probably wondering, what is this guy doing? But here's the thing, Eram's style works. TNT needs that edge, that guy who'll do the dirty work and take the hits. So while the old heads might hate it, the question is, does it help his team win? Either way, one thing's for sure, when a guy like Kirby Raimundo calls you out, you listen. Let's see if Poy will respond or how he will respond. And that's our roundup tonight, the 24th of March. When we return, get to meet rising Pinoy esports star James Pangks. So watch out for that when we return right here on
The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. Esports is proving to be an arena where Pinoy talent not just thrives, but excels in a global level. Get to know another rising force in the MPL universe. Here is Anton Roxas with James Pangks.
Alright, kasama natin ngayon si James Pangks ng AP brand. James, ikaw ang isa sa mga pinakabago, pinakabatang players dito sa MPL. Ito ba isang bagay na pinangarap mo na balang araw makasama ka dito sa liga?
Opo, sa totoo lang po, pangarap ko po talaga to since nag-start pa lang po ako maglaro. And ngayon, sobrang saya ko po kasi naabot ko na yung gusto ko. Pero hindi pa po ito yung pinakapangarap ko.
Okay. Mamaya, tatanungin kita kung ano ba yung pinakamalaking pangarap ni James Pangks. Pero ito, nung bata ka, hilig mo na ba talaga yung gaming or mahilig ka sa ibang sport dati?
Nung bata po kasi ako halo eh. Hindi po talaga ako computer eh. Ano lang, more on physical eh. Mga basketball, ganon, billiards.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So paano ka napunta sa gaming? Paano ka nahilig?
Nung nag-pandemic lang po kasi yun eh. Na, syempre po bawal lumabas. So hindi ko na magagawa yung mga ginagawa ko sa labas. And nagkaroon ng cellphone. And yun, na-impluwensya nung mga pinsan maglaro ng ML.
Teka, ilang taon ka na ba?
Mag-19.
Magna-19. So ibig sabihin, mga ilang years ka palang naglalaro? Wow!
5 years. 5 years. 2020.
Okay. So, eto, ngayon na nandito ka na sa MPL. Ano yung mga short-term goals mo sa first season mo dito sa liga?
Para sa akin, ang short-term goal ko lang is mag-playoffs muna.
Okay.
Ayan. Tapos, kung kaya kong makuha yung Rookie of the Year, tapos, yun, yung MVP of the season. Ayun yung una yung short-term goal ko.
Ang galing ha, alam mo na agad yung mga gusto mong makamit. Ganda yan. Okay, eto, sabihin natin na magkaroon kayo ng magandang season. Ano yung unang i-invest mo if ever, yun nga, magkaroon kayo ng magandang season dito sa MPL?
I-invest?
Oo. Kasi karamihan sa mga players na nakausap ko, nakapagtayo ng bahay, nag-invest sa lupa. Ikaw naman, ano yung gusto mong, ano ang bagay na gusto mong mag-invest?
Siguro sa damit na lang, clothing gano'n.
Start small.
Start small lang.
Okay. Alright, eto. Being an esports athlete, syempre, you guys are subject to bashing. Maraming pwede mag-comment tungkol sa inyo. Ikaw, how do you deal with that? Yung mga bash and
paano ka nakakapag-focus?
Sa akin po kasi hindi ko na pinapansin kasi nasa isip ko normal naman na yung may mga ganun Hindi mo naman mapiplease lahat ng tao na magustuhan ka. Kaya parang ayun lang yung ginagawa ko. Hindi ko sila pinapansin. Then nagpo-focus lang ako sa goal ko. Yan. Pag na ano mo naman kasi pare, na nakuha mo na yung goal mo, yung mga basher, magiging fans mo na yun. Ganun.
Yung mga basher, naging fans ko na. Okay, ito, last. Balikan natin yung sinabi mo kanina, yung biggest dream. So, ano yung pinakamalaking pangarap mo sa buhay, James?
Sa ML or sa buhay?
O sige, sa ML muna, tapos sa buhay.
Syempre sa ML world champion, maging rin, GOAT.
The GOAT?
Oo, GOAT
The GOAT,
din.
Tandaan nyo to, yung sinabi ni James, Okay, pinakamalaking pangarap sa buhay. Your biggest dream.
Simple lang kasi pangarap ko Yung gusto ko may farm ako, ganun. Farm, farm. Tapos, peaceful lang na buhay. Tapos, dun, kumbaga yung mga kailangan ko doon ko nakukunin sa farm ko. Ganun. Ayan lang yung ko.
Maganda i-visualize yun. James, congratulations and good luck ngayong season.
Thank you po.
When the scorecard returns, we'll break down the most fascinating finals matchups we could possibly get this year. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Okay. It's time. Pag-usapan natin the most fascinating finals matchup that we could possibly get this year. And I know so many people are dreaming about this. The best in the East versus the best in the West. OKC versus Boston. The defending champs versus the league's biggest disruptors. Boston, they've been here. They finally broke through last season, got over the hump, and now they're playing like they want to own this decade. This is the dynasty window, and Tatum and Brown are in their prime, an all-time defense, and the roster that's been engineered for rings, just like Erika Kristensen-Lee's shiny ring. Winning one was great, but back-to-back, that's legacy. And then there's OKC, the NBA's newest problem, a team nobody expected to be this good, this fast. The youngest team in contention, led by a superstar who looks completely unshaken by the moment. Shea, top 5 player case. Chet, rookie of the year or not, he's already a two-way monster. Their depth, it doesn't stop. And the wild part, this isn't even the final version of the Thunder. They have more assets than any contender in history. So what happens if these two teams actually meet in June?
Good question, Anton. Boston's path to a repeat. The Celtics have been on cruise control all season. And you know what? They've got the best starting 5 in basketball and a defense that just buries all the teams there. They're treating the East like a business trip. Milwaukee, messy. Philly can't seem to stay healthy. The Knicks, fun, but hello, come on. This is Boston's conference to lose. But defending a title is way different. Everybody gives you their best shot. Every opponent is circling your name. And when you're built around Tatum and Brown, you have to prove you are not just champions, but you are a dynasty.
Going back to OKC, the path to a breakthrough. No playoff scars, no deep run experience, no proven playoff formula. And it might not even matter because this team doesn't play like a young team. They play like they already know how this ends. The ball movement, the defense, the confidence, it's all there. And Shea is the reason. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is playing like a guy who doesn't believe in ceilings. This isn't a nice story. This is an MVP-level superstar who gets to his spots whenever he wants, controls the pace, and never looks rushed. OKC is not scared of anyone, but can they actually get past the Western bloodbath? Denver, defending West champs. Minnesota, built like a nightmare matchup. The Clippers, if they're healthy, they're a problem. But OKC has beaten them all before. Could they run into trouble against a more battle-tested team? Sure. Could they make the finals anyway? Absolutely. If this finals actually happens, this would be a passing of the torch moment or a not yet moment. If Boston wins, it's a dynasty. Tatum gets his second ring. Brown proves he's an all-time number 2. And the Celtics become the team of the 2020s.
Whew. I mean, if OKC wins, they arrive years ahead of schedule. They leapfrog every timeline, break every young teams can't win rule, and announce themselves as the next NBA empire. Now, it's not the matchup we expected here, but at this point, it might be the matchup that we all deserve. Don't you guys agree? Now, let's keep an eye and stay ahead of the game with a full lineup of NBA matchups tomorrow.
And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this from one of cricket's greatest batsmen who led India to the 2011 World Cup win and inducted into the International Cricket Council Hall of Fame in 2019. Sachin Tendulkar once said, "When people throw stones at you, you turn them into milestones."
I love that, Anton. And you know what? Yesterday, we turned that into a milestone because we won 2 amazing and major awards for the Scorecard. Congratulations, Anton!
So we have the Best Sports Show Award. At maraming salamat po, lalo na sa PMPC. Of course, all of our bosses, the entire team here, lahat na mga kasama natin dito sa The Scorecard, making everything work. Thank you so much for the honor.
No, thank you, Anton. Of course, we also want to thank our viewers. You know what? This achievement is yours as much as it is ours. Initially, we created the show to really put a spotlight on our Filipino athletes so, we could really support them in their upcoming tournaments and support their stories and support their careers. And I'm so glad that we are able to do that. But, syempre, cherry on top na talaga that we are even being recognized for doing exactly that. So again, thank you so much. Mabuhay ang atletang Pilipino.
I couldn't have said it any better. Before we go, I just want to say something to you, Erika. What resonated with me with regards to all of this recently was a post you made on Facebook. Sinabi mo doon na, of course, you dedicated this to your mom. It was really sweet. Sinabi mo na anything is possible with hard work, prayer, and love for what you do.
Yes. Verbatim yun, ha? Memorized ni Anton. But that's exactly true. And you know what? This award just completely, I guess, puts that in stone.
So, ayun po. Maraming salamat. And please continue supporting our Filipino athletes, lahat ng mga manonood dito sa Pilipinas and all over the world. With that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here tomorrow on The Scorecard, where sports is our business.
And business is our sport.
Right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. My name is Anton Rojas.
And I'm Erika Kristensen-Lee.
Have a great evening, everybody. Good night.